Welcome back, and moving on to our first segment of today, talking about Decent Life Initiative. Well, of course, one of the most important initiatives. We're talking about how we can support and help Egyptian citizens in all domains, whether we're talking about the standard of living and services in terms of sanitation, drinking water, of course, education, health, a lot of things actually. And of course, this is of great importance. Before discussing this, first of all, allow me to welcome my guest today, Dr. Youmn Hamaki, Professor of Economics at Shams University. Doctor, always a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you, Nasha. Good morning.
So, first of all, I would like to shed the light on the importance of this initiative, especially that, as we all know, it covers, one can say, all aspects of life.
Yes, actually, this is a very important initiative, supported by President El-Sisi. I believe that it has different dimensions and goals. Since, first of all, when Egypt started its economic reform, in 2016, we took care of infrastructure, we took care of enlarging choices of Egyptians towards, the expansion of the utilization of resources into different governorates. And this was quite important, actually, to attract investment and to exploit our resources. But the question was to how extent Egyptians have benefited from these initiatives. And I believe that this tendency towards improving the quality of life for most Egyptians by reforming 4,500 villages containing 55 million Egyptians, I believe this is a very important initiative in order to, enhance the quality of life of these people from one perspective. From another, it's the timing of this initiative is quite important, Nashwa. Why? Because President El-Sisi mentioned and declared that in order to do this or to implement such initiative, Egypt is going to refer to the Egyptian industries, which means that the need for, like you mentioned, we are going to be in deep need of enhancing the quality of services regarding sanitation, drinking water, energy, health services, educational services. And in order to do all this or to enhance all services, we are going to need the demand for industries are going to increase. This is quite important for the period of the pandemic. Nowadays we are living in, these industries, they don't have the capabilities. The demand has decreased significantly. External demand has been affected seriously. And from here it comes that this is a very important way to, boost the economy and to enhance the capabilities of these industries, taking into consideration that the rate of growth for the industrial sector and the manufacturing sector has decreased significantly after the pandemic. So it's a very important initiative to boost the economy, to refresh the economy, and to open opportunities of job, since this demand is going to enhance the capabilities of our industrial sector.
Also, to mention, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said the countryside will be transformed in 3 years' time, when the second phase of the Decent Life Initiative to develop 4,500 rural villages was launched. And I think this is of great importance as well. Just allow us to move on to take a look at this important report covering this important part, talking about all these villages to be developed. And we will be back to discuss this in more details. Welcome back. Just by taking a look at all these developments taking place in terms of investments or economy, especially that we have just got also an international report putting Egypt, when it comes to the economic status, as B+. How can all these projects, one can say that it really helped in solving the problem of the multidimensional poverty in Egypt?
This is quite important, Nashwa, and this is a very promising initiative, but still a lot of challenges regarding the implementation of such initiative. Why? Because it's multidimensional, and it needs harmonization, and you are going to spend a lot of money, so you have to be sure about the cost effectiveness of spending such money. A large part of it is on top of these services, sanitation services, and sanitation services, very costly. From here it comes how you can manage and handle such initiative. We all know that the villages have been selected according to different criteria, on top of them poverty. And from here it comes that we have a lot of villages in Upper Egypt because poverty is concentrated in Upper Egypt. So first of all, you are going to make a positioning for each village regarding what are the services required in order to improve the quality of life for people living there. But when you are going to start, and the President Sisi is determined within 3 years that there is going to be a significant change in the quality of life. This is quite amazing. But still, you are going to spend a lot of money. To how extent you are going to enable people living in these areas to absorb such a change from one perspective and to upgrade their capabilities so that to start their own, practical life, which means that to how extent are we going to do a positioning for the quality of life of human beings themselves, which means to how extent these people, they are educated, not educated, the rate of illiteracy, their capabilities, to how extent, they are going to be able to move into an opportunity of job or micro enterprise in order to manage their lives. Because, we had another experience. And I took the opportunity in this period to evaluate the experience of addressing poverty in 100 villages. And, there were different challenges regarding of the application, because this initiative had, concentrated on the services, sanitation, schools, and health service, and so on. And they neglected people, developing the capabilities of people. And they neglected the economic part. You started by mentioning there is a very important economic part. What is the importance of economic part? The importance of economic part is that if you succeed, and this is a very good opportunity for Egypt to apply or to cope with the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals, you are going to take into consideration the 3 dimensions: economic, social, and environmental. So if you succeed to put the right plan from the beginning, and as economist, I'm talking to you about the macro plan, the macro level plan, which is what are the resources existing, what is a map of investment, industrial investment, what are, the significant comparative advantage of this area, which industries can gain advantage and competitiveness in this area, like nowadays, we all know that we have Al-Mahalla Al-Kubra. This is for ready-made clothes. We have Upper Egypt. We have nowadays in Upper Egypt food industries, and we have electronic industries. Nowadays, Egypt is taking momentum in electronic industrial nowadays, and we need to upgrade our competitiveness in such industry. We have a lot of capabilities. According to our studies as economists, we have the investment map, So if you put your plan, the strategic plan, in the right way regarding how to develop these villages, to return back into productive villages in which all human beings are taking responsibility and are taking a place in the labor market, which means it's not just by trying to help to improve the services. This is quite important, but from my point of view, it should come second, after upgrading the capabilities of human resources, directing them towards feasible projects or the opportunities of jobs that may enable them to gain their lives. This is first of all. And then just to hear from them what are their requirements about this, to let them integrated into this, plans, because if they are not deciding with you and being integrated into such a project, I believe that this can guarantee the success of these projects. So this is the hardest part of, the planning. And we all know our experiences, taking gender perspective into consideration, how to address people. And because I have experiences in Upper Egypt regarding economic empowerment of women and in slum areas, I can understand the importance of how to address people, how to know that